have not talked about any subject.
Yeah.
So to sum up, the template title anyway is done, and only the subtitles will be there. There will be no secondary subtitle.
Right.
And one page, at least to connectivity between the title or the person mentioned, or the relevance to the title to the subject that is being discussed, at least one page. And you raised another point that wherever the common things are between that person and my journey, that also should be highlighted in another page.
Right.
Then the actual events and running activity.
Right. Right.
For those, I will give the bullet points. And then you will be asking me questions based on the bullet points to fill in the paragraphs. Each bullet point could be a paragraph or longer. So these bullet points are like segments. After the book is done, after we do the first version, you may say that, oh, what you said in the Archimedes makes sense in another chapter. It's not just relevant. It may flow well, but it's not relevant there. It is much more relevant in another chapter. So these are like packets or units that we can shuffle later to put anywhere we want, wherever it makes sense. Better sense than the location that we started with. And there will be a box item which will have one, at the most 2 sentences, less than 100 words. Word count is also should be restrictive, 100 words, that can act as the sentence that one should not miss in that chapter. And that sentence also should be the hook for someone to get into this chapter.
Okay. I think that will be perfect.
Yeah. Then there is a readability scale. Did you check that readability scale? Have
readability?
you used it? Yeah, there is a readability scale.
Okay.
Any technical manual or any technical book should not be written above the 8th grade level.
Okay.
I consider this a non-fiction, but technical too.
Yeah.
And that is the United States government of the United States rule for all manuals, technical matters written. I have no doubt to apply that is whether the government of India has such a rule or not. It is the most sensible thing. The readability scale comes from the Word document. And then that is what you have to check for every chapter. Of course, Grammarly, and Grammarly I check number 1. Once the chapter is finalized, check with Grammarly. They are checking about 300, 400 aspects of it. But there is another problem with the Grammarly. Don't fall for that. The problem is, let us say we say interesting. They go to thesaurus and try to supply another word saying that this is better. Don't take it unless it is really making sense.
Right.
Because they want to show that they are doing more. Maybe that is necessary for those who are novice to English.
Right.
In our context, when we put a sentence, and when we put words, we have very good understanding of why we have put that sentence, a word. Therefore, don't change any of their word suggestions unless you strongly think that that is a better one. Okay. After Grammarly, go for word itself. Most often when you do Grammarly, it says everything is fine, this, that, shining, you are doing well, all those things. Yet, when you check with Microsoft Word editor,
Again, there will be some issues.
definitely there are some things
Yeah.
that are missing.
I know perfectly.
Yeah, 90% probably between 80 and 90% will be done with the Grammarly. And when the Word editor checks it, it will pick up a few more. Some are irrelevant, I agree, with spacing and other things, but not spacing. The comma location, there is some conflict. But again, for that, there is a AP standard or Chicago standard. Because we are checking with both these editors, Grammarly as well as this, we don't have to go to the Chicago or AP style writing. Otherwise, there is a book where it will clearly tell what is the comma situation and all those things. So that is about checking. After finishing checking, then go for readability scale. Readability scale, for example, this document that I did, let me see if I could get readability scale. Spelling, thesaurus, word count. Earlier, it used to come automatically when you do the editor. Now, readability statistics. Oh, proofing tab. I have not shared my screen with you, so I'm sharing my screen so that you can see. Oh, you can't minimize Zoom when you're recording this meeting. Okay. See, when you are correcting, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
In the proofing tab, under the when correcting spelling and grammar word, select mark grammar errors as you type and show readability statistics and then select OK. So let me check this for this document. Review. Yeah, here, corrections, formality, vocabulary, similarity, insight, document stats. Yeah, here. Have you seen that?
Mm.
So in the Word, when you do this checking, after you finish checking, it will show up in the insight document stats. These are all about the word count and all, and the average. And the bottom panel is the readability scale. Flash reading ease is 33.8, which is very low.
Okay.
It should be 80, 60, whatever. And Flash Kincaid grade level, this has to be 8.
Mm-hmm.
So two things can drop it down. The same document, I can bring it down to 8. Hello?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So the same document, which is 15.8, by doing two things, you can bring it down to readability of 8th grade level.
Okay.
Between 8th and 9th.
Okay.
Because no one is asking and checking us, so we don't have to really be 8th only.
Okay.
To bring it down, two things are necessary. Number one, reduce the number of passive sentences.
Okay.
Then it will come down. Number two, words per sentence should come down.
Okay. You mean smaller sentences?
Yes, words per sentence is 29.2.
Okay.
So that is very high.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The sentences are very long.
Mm-hmm.
If we make it by half, this will drop dramatically. So we have to break sentences whenever it's needed. And we have to reduce the passive sentences.
Okay.
But
More
when
of
it is
active time.
more of active sentences. So, but the flow is more important for us than the score itself.
Right. Right. Definitely. Definitely.
So could you, in your Word document, could you see this?
Yeah, I can. I can.
Okay. So then I'll stop sharing.
Mm.
Okay. So what is the size of the book that you are thinking of?
Size of the book.
Yeah.
Mm. You mean the number of pages or what? What?
No, the length and width of the book.
The normal. I have not checked the size of the book because where these books which we are giving to the publisher, they here in India, what size I'm telling you, the normal. I don't know the exact measurements, but like they have a proper fixed system only. Either it is a average one or a very large one with the hardbound cover kind of thing. So these
No,
are
we are not
the
going
two
for
things.
hardbound, but we are going for a regular normal book because
That is what I'm talking.
yeah, the books can be, this is a standard size.
Yeah, this one, same one.
Right?
Yeah.
This standard size.
And the matte finish cover.
Yeah, and this standard size is 6 inches.
Yeah.
By 9 inches, 6 by 9.
So roughly around this one.
So we have to define that in order for us to have the cover, number of pages, all those things keep changing.
Okay.
And there are mechanical things that I want you to, while we are getting ready with the content, the size of the book, the font we have to use in the book, the spacing, once the font is decided, and then the spacing will come into picture.
Right.
And then box items.
Mm-hmm.
Then how many pictures we can put? 3 pictures per each chapter. And how many references we'll give. And the references and pictures will actually, lot of them, they will not be in the book. References and pictures will be there, but more pictures will be there on the web.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give a QR code and tell the people that if you want to find more, you have to scan for
Right.
QR code to go to the web page.
Mm-hmm.
So let us think about those mechanical things. What would be the font for title, cover page? What will be the font for title, chapter title? What will be the font for the subheading? Both the type of font and the size. Then what will be the font for the box item? How will the box item be prepared or presented? And where will it be presented? And if we have 150 pages, what is the average take of the publishers or the libraries? 200 pages is a good reasonable size of thickness.
Right.
So even if we have 150 pages, making that 200 pages is very simple. Without writing anything more, you give only 75% content on the page, and that extra 25-30% that comes out will be 1/3 of the pages of the book, which means 150, 1/3 is another 50, so it will be 200.
Right. Right.
So by adjusting that, we should not worry, because our content is the main thing. Don't include the, as I mentioned earlier, don't include the photo space for the number of pages.
And even then, when we are writing the soft copy, the size of that and the size of the book, there is a difference. So again, the number of pages increases. Even if we are writing 150 pages now, another 6-7 pages are increased when it goes for printing.
So after
because
you finish
the size is smaller.
Right. So from this conversation, after you finish the template part of the chapter, send me a document and I'll get back to you on that. Then the next thing is prepare a page of all the mechanical aspects or structural aspects. You said matte finish. That is another point. Size, font.
See, matte finish, when we send the soft copy to the publisher, we have to tell them that we need the matte finish. That I'll, of course, mention. The font is like, right now we are writing in Times New Roman, right? And even in the last, in my past books, I've written in Arial font and this one, Arial rounded one, right? But when it goes for this printing, I think the Arial one is better. Even Times Roman is okay, but the Arial one is far more, kind of defined, kind of when it goes for printing.
No, agreed.
So I'll mention that. But even after, when we give to the publisher, they send us the this one, the format in the book, the soft copy format in the shape of the book. They send the soft copy to you, and you have to check, like it will be like you are reading the book only. In the
My point is, take another sheet and put all these mechanical aspects. We don't have to finalize them today. Put all the what are the mechanical aspects that we have to consider. So once you say that mechanical and structural aspects, for example, we said box. What should be the box size? It should be should be rectangular, square, or circle, or some different shape that attracts, that can fit 100 words. And what would be the font for the box item? Because yes, publisher, if you give it to publisher, somebody will do all these things and give us, but we don't want to. Before, when we are sending this document, I don't want the printer or the publisher say anything about, because they will take another week or 10 days.
Right.
Instead, if we say, look, this is the document, these are the sizes, and ask your guy to do it one day, it's a one-day job for them because they don't read it.
Well prepared. Well prepared.
Yeah. And once they prepare and give it to us, then we can suggest changes. Or the font is not, size is not good enough, or the box is very big, whatever. Those kind of things we can comment, and those changes can be done within 2-3 days. So from the time that the book is done to the print, it should be only 1 week.
Right. And another thing I'll mention is the thickness of the paper. Like they have different, some like it, right?
Yeah.
So that thickness also. How
Shade
much
of the paper.
Shape,
Shade. There are different shades. Yeah. It will not be plain white.
Yeah.
There
Somewhere
are different
it is
shades.
cream one also.
Yeah. So all those factors, depending on which paper is available at that time, also matter. Printing in India, this is a bigger issue now because of the international trouble. Shipping is very, I wouldn't say limited, but restricted, I think. So we import in newsprint and paper. Therefore, certain type of paper may or may not be available by the time we come in January. So,
my order is coming up, by the way, Innova.
huh?
I got a message about the shipment.
Yeah.
Innova. I think it's going to arrive.
Yes, you
today
should
or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, these are for now. And what shall we do for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, see, I think we had a little bit of discussion, but not detailed one about the chapter 5. Akira and the moment you told me about him, few things, but we did not go much deeper about it. So shall we do that tomorrow?
Okay. We'll do Akira
I
Endo.
searched about him on the net, and I took down some details about him.
Before you search for these things on net, did you download the Scientist Greater Than Einstein book?
Yeah, that I have done.
Okay, in that there is an Akira Endo chapter.
Okay, so from there only should I take it?
Yeah, you should take every sentence. Even if you copy paste those sentences, that's our book.
Okay, then it's fine.
Yeah, it actually was published initially by Kent Sorsky and Billy Woodward. And when I read that big 450-page book, I called Billy Woodward and said that, Mr. Woodward, this book is very good, but reading 450 pages to get the sense is too much of time and money, because the book cost is also very high. And if I want to publish in India, it has to be less than 200 rupees or around 200 rupees. For 200 rupees, which is at that time it was $4 or $5. How do I make it? I have to abridge it, and we will do our own abridged version. And then we paid royalties to them, and all the sentences, pictures, everything is for us. We can use them freely. Even if you take a paragraph about Akira Endo or any one of them, because the book main purpose is different from the book that we are writing now. But the individual sentences, individual paragraphs that which can be lifted can happily be lifted. There is no doubt, because I'm the editor for that. Most of the sentences I have written myself.
Okay.
Not the Billy Woodward, because Billy Woodward is from Kansas. So in Kansas, the English language and the way that they speak is very, very different from the New York. It's all winding.
Right.
And that is actually, generally it is said that our streets in the East Coast or West Coast are very straight, or in the Midwest. But these rural areas in Kansas and all, they are not straight. They are all winding, because these are all farmlands once upon a time. And therefore, their English itself is according to their geography.
Fine, definitely. then I'll do that thing today itself. Not today,
Yeah. So
tomorrow morning.
No, for every chapter, you should have read that first, and then see my bullet points. Based on that, ask questions to fill the chapters.
Okay. So we go as per like we have discussed. Tomorrow we go for chapter number 5 and 6 both, or only chapter 5?
Only chapter 5. Only one topic per day.
Okay.
Otherwise, your head will be full of conflicts of information, pieces of information that you cannot place properly.
Okay.
This is a real serious exercise for the brain. So I don't want you to strain anything.
No problem.
And what are the other books that you are handling right now?
I'm almost on the verge of completing one book that is on happiness, finding your inner soul.
Is it your own or somebody else's?
No, I'm writing for someone else.
I see. Okay.
And then there is another biography of a person, father of one of the persons here. Like, he expired last year, so they wanted to pay homage to him. So I'm writing his whole life journey.
His children asked you to write one.
Yes.
So interesting thing should be to send. Important thing should be to send to 5 or 6 publishers who you think are the way that we apply that. Do that in US applying for colleges. We take 2 best top colleges, 2 mid-level colleges, 2 low-level colleges, so that they may accept. The acceptance, if nobody else accepts, these low-level colleges will accept. So my purpose of doing this exercise is not really to get it published by them, unless that's very interesting and appropriate.
Right.
The exercise that in engaging with them, the questions that they ask, the comments that they give, the rejection reasons that they give are very important for us to succeed.
I don't think there should be any reason for them to reject.
No, but because no. If we are giving money to them, they will not reject. But if we are asking money, then they will reject.
Yeah, specifically in India.
Huh?
Specifically in India.
No, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
See, if I say that I am going to give you money, please publish. Yes, many people will be ready.
Yeah. But when we are asking for money,
yeah.
First question will be, why we should pay you.
Very simple. That I have the right answer. You know how to sell 10,000 copies, even if it is a trash. I want such a person. Not by the way, we are looking for a publisher. For example, Rupa, they have the connections. Penguin, they have the connections. Right? The Indian companies are better. There's one particular company, I'll give the name. You should send it to them. I really salute to them. I don't mind paying them money also if that comes to it, but we will not do it right away. Because when they have the network which we can never achieve in this life, because we're not competing with them. Therefore, with their network, if they are selling 10,000 copies, 1 followed by 4 zeros.
1 followed by 4 zeros.
10,000 is 1 followed by 4 zeros. Let's say the book cost is 500 rupees. 2 more zeros. When you multiply that, 5 followed by 6 zeros. That is 50 lakhs.
Oh my God.
Right? 50 lakhs, 1 book. They do that, I know. Because otherwise, 10,000 copies, as I said, all the libraries all the universities, all the bookstores in India, even if you sell 1 copy per month for only 1 year, 10 copies per bookstore, 1,000 bookstores are easily possible in India, right?
Easily, very easy.
So that is what
Very
I'm
easy.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Even on the railway stations, if you find it on railway stations also, now you just count the number of railway stations we have in India.
So that's a 50 lakh market. And let us say out of the 50 lakhs, he has to give 10 lakhs to somebody, 10 lakhs to another person, 10 lakhs for printing. And he's making 10 lakhs still on one book.
I'm sure if you sit in front of this publisher now, he'd say, I'll do anything for you.
So he's getting 10 lakhs for one book, which becomes one line item for him. If they are doing 10, 20 books per month, it becomes another line item in the catalog. But for us, this is the only thing. You cannot employ staff. You cannot have the network. You cannot contact all the 1,000 stores. For him, he doesn't even have to bother. He will tell his people secretary that include this in the catalog of sending 20, 30 books for this month, this Quinoa journey. And also they have another ability, which we do not have. He will send it to some professors or journalists and say that over the phone, I know it is trash, but I want you to give me a good sentence.
Yeah, another thing we know which they do. I know because because when I was writing my this one biography, the client we contacted the publisher, and even before just 15 days after publishing of the book, there are so many people writing about the book, and all well-known people. Even I was surprised, like how they got these comments and all. And then he's telling me, I got it, from my sources, very well established people writing about. He also bought that thing also, that client, that reviews also that can be bought. Okay. Just like Twitter and Instagram and all that.
So why he should pay us? They may have all these abilities.
Definitely.
But if they don't have a content, how will they make money?
Yeah, definitely.
We are providing that content. So we are asking money. We are not asking his share. If he is getting 10 lakhs, we are not asking 10 lakhs.
Right.
Right? So in the book industry, they multiply everything by 5. The cost of the project multiplied by 5 is the cost of and divided by the number of copies is the
profit
per copy. No, per copy. How do you arrive at per copy cost?
Okay.
So put all your costs multiplied by 5. Let's say if it comes to 5 lakhs.
Okay.
Then 5 lakhs, if you want to realize that 5 lakhs, you have to print 1,000 copies of 500 rupees.
Okay. Understood.
That is the equation, simple.
You know everything about publishing, so I think you should have your own publishing house.
No.
That would be great for me.
No. And if you think that I can, definitely if you form a team, I need 2 young fellows who can work 16 to 18 hours a day, and definitely we can churn out 1 book every month.
Oh, great.
Because unless they put that kind of work, that's how in science also it works. When I was for almost 20 years, 25 years, 16, 18 hours is my actual involvement with the work. Physical presence in the lab or thinking about it easily. So unless you have such kind of dedicated young fellows, you cannot achieve such things. They have built, publishers have built their houses, so no discussion about that. Let them do it. But with these calculations, because you asked me why they should pay money. And if you find any such young people who are ready to work with reasonable English, very good English is important, but reasonable English, because everything else can be supplemented.
Right.
The dedication cannot be supplemented by others.
Hmm.
Let us say that some Hardik Bhai comes and says, I will work whatever way you are saying. And you and I will decide that, oh, Hardik Bhai's English is like a Gujarati English.
Right.
When you are reading, you feel it is Gujarati rather than English. No problem. We'll get someone who can, who knows Gujarati, who knows English, and make this better. But Hardik Bhai will be running the project.
Right. Hmm. Okay.
All right.
But person should be enthusiastic to work.
That's it. And should not have the ego. If he does something and he says, oh, Dr. Rao, I have prepared this and this is how we should sell, and we'll sell 10,000 copies, then I'll simply say this is nonsense. You will never be able to sell one copy.
Hmm. Right.
Dainik Bhaskar is a great example. Do you know anyone at Dainik Bhaskar?
No, not Dainik Bhaskar. I know Divya Bhaskar and Gujarat
Divya
Samaj.
Bhaskar. Huh?
Yeah.
Dainik Bhaskar or Divya Bhaskar? There's only one newspaper.
No, in Gujarat there are, see, in Gujarat I'm talking about Gujarat Samachar, Divya Bhaskar, and there is another third paper, Gujarati paper.
No, there's, yes, Gujarati paper I'm talking about.
It's not Dainik Bhaskar. See, Dainik Bhaskar is different. Huh? That comes in Hindi, I think.
No, it's all the same group. The Bhaskar is the same group.
Yeah, but
so
it, I think, comes in Hindi. I think it comes in Hindi. I think so, because Divya Bhaskar I'm reading, because sometimes there are articles in Gujarati which I read.
So that paper is number 2 on the day when they started.
Yeah.
And the way they had done is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the marketing was so aggressive. I still remember the day they, before, I think they started their marketing 6 months before they started the paper.
Correct.
They
Father
distributed,
said.
yes, they distributed, small, interesting articles, small one page papers initially to people. Then they were, giving some sort of interesting information to people. Some calendars also they were giving as gifts to people from,
their main principle is this. It is a classic study of Indian entrepreneurship. So the father who started the paper elsewhere, when they wanted to launch in Gujarat, and the son said that we will launch. Then the father asked, if you launch, Gujarati Samachar is number 1. Then when will you reach and compete with that? They said that maybe 5-10 years. He said, no, it has to be a good competition will be between number 1 and number 2, not with number 1 and 5. Then they said, if we have to be number 2 at the launch time, we are going to die by putting more money and putting all our resources. Then the father said, yes, I want you to die and go to heaven. When you don't die, you will be on earth.
Okay.
So the father has given this idea and said that recruit young boys and girls, ask them to go to house and ask them to find out what is that they did not like in Gujarati Samachar and what is that they like in Gujarati Samachar.
Okay.
And what is that they would love to see in Gujarati Samachar.
Achha.
So it's very simple formula. So they sat at the drawing board and said that people, what they don't like at the Gujarati Samachar, remove it. What they like, keep it. What they want to see, add it.
Very simple formula, right? Right.
And then after they have done, as you said, they have made such a paper, mock paper, and said, gave it to, took it to the people. You said that you wanted to see these things. They are here. You wanted to add these things. We added. Will you pay subscription?
Of course.
More than 50% paid.
Right, right, right.
Even
And
though
I think they
somebody,
gave free paper. They gave free paper for I think 1 or 2 months. They distributed free of charge for just, it is like just like drugs.
no,
If
no,
you are
that, no, no,
giving them to
no. The free paper was given to those who are new, who are not contacted, because their population size is very limited. When they did the
Okay.
analysis, when they did the marketing or went to the houses, they didn't go to every house in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So they sampled in few houses, a few thousand, and they asked them to pay the subscription then and there.
Okay.
Before the whole thing happened. So based on the base subscriptions for 1 year or something, they multiplied the number that they need to be number 2 and printed. Once they printed, because others did not buy it, they gave it as free.
Okay.
But according to all statistics, they are number 2 because that many papers were printed.
Yeah, definitely. And Sandesh is such an old newspaper, and it is nowhere, compared to Divya Bhaskar now. If you see, very, very less, people buy that. So I think this is a marketing strategy.
Yeah. So
of the
please
company.
talk to one of these. Just pick up the phone call. There is nothing that is stopping you. You say that I am a biographer. I'm writing a book. This is something very important for India to understand, so that there are other 500 food items or 100 food items like quinoa, which are not in India. And if somebody wants to make that happen in India, this book will tell exactly how to do it. For example, blueberries. Blueberry is not common in India.
Right.
Very expensive. Right? How to make it affordable? This book has, this book is like a textbook. So tell the editors when you call, what is in there? Say that we have, people have 500 food items. He says, where do you have a list? Immediately he will shoot. He will think that you are bluffing. Then say, sir, please send your address and we'll send the 500 food items list. And a book also. We printed. We have 500 food items as a word search book.
Okay.
So you will, the moment that you say that I have a book and I want to send, he feels guilty for thinking that even if he didn't say on your face, he definitely will think that you are bluffing. But when you show the book, his guilt feeling will try to make whatever you want, you are asking. And
we can do the same thing with Ahmedabad Mirror also.
English, yeah. First start with English. Call them and say that I am working on a special book or whatever wordings you are saying. And this book, I want you to do an experiment.
Okay.
Just let me show this book first.
Wow. Great.
So you will get a copy. I'll ask them to send this along with quinoa, so that you will have if the quinoa did not dispatch quinoa yet, they will put this book also in that. And the two ambassadors, one consul general, another ambassador that I met, one in Sweden and one in New York, because they asked me to give a talk that is about you saw on the Ayurveda and how to spread that. In that, I showed them this book, we have 500 food items. They did not believe it. I gave a good pause, good silence after telling in the presence of all the audience. And they thought that is hand waving. Yeah, we have plenty. I said, no, we have 500. I said, I never said plenty. Then I showed the slide
Oh
and
my
the book.
God. Must be so embarrassed,
Yeah. So the consul general was very embarrassed because, he's trying to support me, saying that, yeah, there are plenty, hand waving kind of thing. Then
Oh my
after the presentation, he said that it is really surprising that you actually have 500 in a book. I really thought that people generally talk when they come to me. I said, no, I wouldn't do that because you are in such a high position and your time is valuable.
Right.
And very interesting book, he said. I said, no, it is not at all interesting. It will save, you don't have to read. It will save a lot of time for you and headache for you. I said, he asked me, how? Every day you have people waiting to see you for your appointments. Yes, he showed a big hall and said that people wait here. I said, but you don't want to get that person. And the time that you have given him, they are sitting there, but something interesting comes and you don't want to leave this person. You don't want to get that person. You want to call the person later. You have no control now. Yeah, what can we do? That's the nature of the job, he said. No, now you can control it. Keep these books in the waiting room. They'll be doing the word search and they will forget the time.
Oh my God.
So I hope I'll get an order for these books from him.
Yeah.
And definitely the Swedish ambassador, Tanmay Lal,
Okay.
he will place an order, at least for 100 books. So
Oh my God.
when they
I think you
finish,
should be doing it for all the embassies.
yeah, that's the next thing. Once one
Yeah.
embassy buys, I'm waiting for one embassy order. The moment that
Okay.
one ambassador buys,
Hmm.
I would take that as an example and send it. Otherwise, others may think that I'm fooling. Okay.
We can,
So
we can even, just sorry for disturbing you. We can even, like you told me, like for this, all the embassies, that also gave me an idea. Like, can't we promote the book also through, like, some chambers of commerce or something like that? Because I think this is something which is relevant to each and every, uh, uh, like after it is printed. I'm talking about that.
which book?
The
The
promotion
500
of the
food
book.
items or Kinawa book?
Even book items is to be on the coffee table, but I'm talking about quinoa. Like both the things.
No, but let's close in a minute. If you can, now that of course, the idea is good, but how to translate that requires a lot of work. And that I cannot do it now. As you said,
I'm in touch with a few, you can say, I used to contact them for this. I have, I'm in touch with some of the, Chamber of Commerce president and, all the people handling them. Then even for, I think I have been in touch with person from Switzerland also. So that way, let us take it very slowly. I'm not saying it we go very fast, but I can, start spreading that in my network wherever I have, the right people in touch with me. So that way we can maybe proceed. Even in Gujarat, I'm having Surat Chamber of Commerce, then this one, Ahmedabad Chamber of Commerce, then various others, then Hyderabad, all over India. So we can, I think, besides the publisher, even the Chamber of Commerce can be, something which can incorporate the book and promote the book.
Please try that. But for this book, I'm talking about this book. This book is 500 rupees in Indian money.
Okay.
If you find a young person whose communication skills are good and hardworking, just ask them to draft a letter to all the embassies around the world, Indian embassies, and send the letter via email on his own or her own. a young person, right? When the book is sold, 100 copies, the way that it happens is we just give them to Delhi Ministry of External Affairs, and there is a diplomatic bag. Any amount of material can go through that.
Oh.
So there is no international shipping in that, if they buy.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
When I got my PhD scholarship into Paris, which is a very, very small sum, $500 per month at that time is okay. But I lived well, but it's a very small sum. But I have so many friends and relatives, and the number of letters that I used to write is plenty. And to send them to India is very expensive.
Right.
So my seniors, also somebody like me, might have thought about it. And I was very close to the Indian embassy in Paris at that time. Somebody said that if you know anyone there, the idea is very simple. This kind of bag is there. So you bring inland letters from India, 15 paise at that time, and write the inland letter with the Indian address and give it to the embassy. Embassy will give it to the Ministry of External Affairs, and Ministry of External Affairs will put it in the post box there in Delhi. So the letter goes in 4 days. From Paris to Delhi, it will take 1 day for them. And the whole thing, within 1 week, it used to reach. Otherwise, it is 15 days from Paris to any town in Delhi, in India.
Oh my God.
My friends helped me to use their service for a long time, as long as I stayed there for 4 years.
Right.
So I know the diplomatic bag, how it works.
In 15 paisa.
In 15 paise. Yeah.
Right,
Otherwise, it used to be, I think, 5 rupees or 6 rupees in terms of
Oh
rupees.
my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, 2 francs 50 cents centime. That's about 5 to 6 rupees. Instead, 15 paise.
So you know what? You should write another book also. This is my suggestion. out of the world strategies for what you call something for which may transform a person's life. Changing the perspective. Like you said, finding. You are more of a. I should not say this word. You are more of a jugadu kind.
Jugaad. Marwadi, you mean? Don't hesitate. Even if you say
Not
Marwadi.
Not Marwadi. But we have a knack for, even though you are settled in US since long, but you still have the Indian roots. We Indians are more like Jugadus. This thing which you said, like, sending the letter, only the Indians can think such kind of things.
No, but anyway, we are recording. So one of the best things that we did, for a letter and all, you have time. You can think. Even if I don't write, it doesn't matter. That's not essential. One of the most interesting essential thing that I did in that context is when we are flying out from Bombay for the first time. I have to stop with this. We were all supposed to gather, a few of my batchmates, in Bombay airport. So somebody came from Tamil Nadu, somebody came from Delhi, I came from Hyderabad, and we met in airport, Bombay airport, and we have to take the midnight flight. All of us reached before 6 o'clock. And I was the one to reach at 8 o'clock, I think. And me, another person from Tirupati. So we're about 6 or 7 of us. At that time, we were not allowed to carry more than $8.
$8.
8.
Oh.
And we had we were told that to carry 200 rupees, 300 rupees in the airport expenditure or whatever. But when they came to airport, another mistake they did, most of them, they called home and said that, oh, I reached the airport and I'm So even to make that phone call STD, they spent money. So when they went to eat in the airport, they would take only dollars, not Indian rupees. So with the $8, they have to keep at least $2 or $3 to land, or they didn't have any choice. So out of $8, they had to pay $5 for one sandwich. A very thin sandwich in Bombay, 1984. So there is no choice. So they paid $5 for sandwich, and they could not spend the other $3. Or even if they spent, they would not buy anything more. So all of us were in 24, 25, that age. So everybody is hungry, and they could not eat more. They could not eat more. That bad. I mean, some of them said that you take care of the luggage and we'll first eat and come. Then we stayed back, me and another friend, and they came back and told us that this is the situation. If you go there, you will be done. Only one sandwich. Then I said, even if I don't eat, it's okay for me. But a friend of mine, he's completely a rural person. Of course, he's now a big professor, retired. He said that, no, I'm so hungry. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and now it is 7 or 8 o'clock. I did not eat anything on the flight or anywhere. Then he said that to do something. Because in the class, we were all in a class, French class. So for every French class, the teachers were asking questions, and I was giving some answers this way, that way, even if I did not study well. Then the teachers used to say, the French and the Indian teachers, we know that you did not study. We know that you are answering. You somehow make up the answer. So he asked me to do something. Then on the spot, I went and spoke with the security. When you are in the airport, where do you eat? They said, we have a canteen for the staff downstairs. I said, we are hungry. We want to go and eat there. Will you allow us? He checked our passports and everything and said that if you come within half an hour before my turn is over, I will allow you. So we went out to the staff canteen in Bombay airport. And there, idli is 1 rupee.
Oh my God. Yeah, your friends must be, what you call, they must be like giving you all blessings and all.
No, not all the friends, just me and another friend, we went out.
Okay.
And the security guard who let us, he was supposed to leave by 10 o'clock. So we have to come back by 10 o'clock. So somehow she allowed us. So we went there. And with that kind of a, we can spend Indian rupees. We have enough Indian rupees, few hundred rupees easily. So we bought 10 idlis, 10 rupees. They said that you take anything, how many rupees you want to buy as coupons. We said 30 rupees each. We didn't realize that one plate of idli is 1 rupee.
Oh my God.
Dosa is 2 rupees. Nothing is more than 3 rupees.
Oh my God.
So we bought this 10 different types of plates or whatever you can get out of that.
Oh my
And
God.
at least we got several idli packets. Then we decided we cannot eat. So we brought those coupons and gave it to the security guard. And he was thrilled because his 1 week breakfast is done.
He must be thinking, when are these people coming back?
Okay. Nice talk. Yeah. Okay, bye. I'm stopping the recording.
Yeah. I think today we had enough of discussion.
Yes.
Yes.